Welcome to Yadnya Investment Academy. So far, we have completed 3 steps of financial planning. In the first step, that is understanding your current financial status, we had seen how to use cash flow statement and net worth statement to understand your current financial status. In step 2, that is writing down your financial goals, we had seen how important it is to write down your goals, quantify them, and put certain timelines to your goals. In the third step, that is looking at investment options for your financial goals, we had seen how the investment options we ultimately choose depend upon time available, your current financial position, returns you expect, and your risk profile. In the current video, we are going to cover the fourth step of financial planning, that is converting your financial goals to a financial plan. The pyramid here shows the hierarchy of investment needs. So before we actually start investing for our short-term and long-term goals, you should take care of two things, your contingency fund and your life and medical insurance. Let us see how to calculate the current contingency fund amount. It is something that is described by the expense ratio. It is nothing but the amount in your savings, current accounts, plus your fixed deposits, plus cash that you have, divided by your monthly expenses. Monthly expenses would include all your outgoes like your EMIs, your household expenses, your insurance premiums, etc. Expense ratio should be 6 for salaried people and 12 for professionals and business people. Why 12 for business people and professionals is because their income is variable, whereas their monthly expenses are constant. Contingency funds are helpful in situations like job loss, sudden medical expenses, etc. After your contingency funds are ready, your life insurance with critical illness cover, accidental disability cover, and your medical insurances should be in place. And then you should move on to your short term goals, medium, and long term goals. The hierarchy does not mean that your short term, medium term, and long term goals are less important. What it means is, first you should be ready for sudden events like job loss, health issues, life loss. Then you should plan for your short term goals because they are the most immediate ones. And then you should plan for your medium term and long term goals. In the first step of financial planning, that is understanding your current financial status, we had seen the cash flow statement of Parul and Puneet. In step 2, we had seen what are the 4 common goals that generally people have. Based on the surplus that Parul and Puneet have, let's see whether they are able to invest towards the common goals. But before we do that, let's check what is their expense ratio. The amount in their savings account plus current account plus FDs plus cash divided by the EMI plus household expenses plus the insurance premiums comes out to be 7.8. Since Parul and Puneet are salaried people, this looks to be a good expense ratio. Parul and Puneet currently pay 2.4 lakh rupees as life insurance premiums, which seem to be very heavy. So this should be replaced by a term plan. You can watch our videos on insurance not an investment and how to calculate your right life insurance cover to understand this better. After buying a term plan, these 2.4 lakh rupees would be available for investment. And so now their monthly surplus would be 49,600 rupees. Let's check with this amount in hand how they can invest towards their 4 goals. The only short-term goal that they have is buying a bigger house after 3.33 years because by this time they will finish off their existing home loan. The house they want to buy currently costs around 1 CR. If inflation is assumed at 7%, the future cost would work out to be 1.25 CR. They plan to sell off the current house they live in when they buy this bigger house. The current price of that house is 75 lakh rupees. And if inflation is again assumed at 7%, the future cost of this house would be 93.95 lakh rupees. And so when they sell off that house, they would have a shortfall of 31.31 lakh rupees when they buy this bigger house. Taking a home loan is a better idea than parting away with your liquidity or investments because this is the most cheapest form of loan that is available. It also comes with tax benefits. Watch our video on SIP versus EMI to see how beneficial it is to have an SIP rather than prepaying your home loan. So after 3.33 years, if Parul and Puneet take a home loan for 20 years at the rate of interest of 10%, the EMI works out to be 30,222 rupees. Since Parul and Puneet are taking a home loan for this particular goal, there's no investment required. We have put the rest of the goals together on this page to see whether 49,600 rupees of investment is enough to satisfy all of them. We have suggested two options for investment towards each goal. Option 1 is an SIP into debt-oriented hybrid funds which may give returns of about 10%. Option 2, SIP into diversified equity mutual funds which may give returns of about 12%. The second goal that Parul and Puneet have is their child's higher education in the US. The current cost is 25 lakh rupees. Their child is 6 years old, so the time available is 16 years. The future cost works out to be 73.8 lakh rupees if inflation is assumed at 7%. Option 1 of SIP into debt-oriented hybrid funds which may give returns of about 10% works out to be 15,688 rupees. Option 2 of SIP into diversified equity mutual funds which may give returns of about 12% works out to be 12,822 rupees. The next goal is their child's marriage. As of today, they would want to spend 15 lakh rupees. They have 18 years in hand and the future cost if inflation assumed at 7% works out to be 50.69 lakh rupees. Option 1 of SIP into debt-oriented hybrid funds which may give returns of about 10% works out to be 8,442 rupees, whereas option 2 with SIP into diversified equity mutual funds which may give returns of about 12% works out to be 6,690 rupees. Their last goal is retirement, which is 23 years away, and the corpus required on retirement is 4.16 crore. To accumulate this corpus, they would need an SIP of 46,893 rupees into debt-oriented hybrid funds which may give returns of about 10%, or an SIP of 28,548 rupees into diversified equity mutual funds which may give returns of about 12%. The values required to calculate the retirement corpus are household expenses, which are 48,000 for Parul and Puneet. Puneet's current age is 32 years. He wants to retire at 55 and expects to live till 80 years. Now Parul and Puneet have a surplus of 49,600 rupees each month. The first option that we suggested is 46,893 rupees of investment towards retirement would not leave much amount to be invested towards other goals if their surplus is just 49,600 rupees. So this option cannot be accepted. If the second option is accepted, they would still have 21,000 rupees extra to be invested towards the remaining two goals. If we choose option 1 in both the remaining two goals, the addition works out to be 24,000, but the surplus is just 21,000. But the difference is also minimal. It is just 3,000. So either Parul and Puneet can work on their household expenses to bring it down by 3,000 rupees, or they could straight away choose option 2 in the remaining two goals as well. One more point to mention is, currently Parul and Puneet have an EMI of 60,000 rupees. After 3.33 years, when they buy their bigger house, it will come down to 30,000 rupees. And in that scenario, their surplus would be 79,600 rupees. And in that case, they could invest into option 1 of all the three goals, because the collective investment that is required is around 71,000 rupees. So today we have seen the hierarchy of investment needs. We have seen how to choose the right options taking in view your surplus available. The next thing that you need to do is go and implement your plan, and do periodically review your plan whether your investments are giving you returns as required. You could keep an eye on a quarterly basis, but don't be in a hurry to immediately change your investments. Take that decision only if your investments are off track for 3+ quarters. One more important thing is to move your equity investments into debt asset class when your financial goals come within 3 years. This completes our financial planning process. Hope the series has empowered you to create your own financial plan. Friends, thanks for watching the video. Watch this space for more such topics. Until then, happy investing. If you have any questions, let us know in the comment section below our videos. And if you like our videos, please do subscribe. Thank you.